I am Jnanoba Marutrao Gayal. I am from Hindustan Antibiotic School. The school is run by Deccan Education Society. Students, today we are going to look a very humorous lesson. And the lesson is written by William Maugham. The lesson is very suitable to the present situation. So let us turn to the lesson. My dear students, first of all, let us see some information about William Maugham. He was born on 1874 and died on 1965. He was a distinguished British playwright, novelist, and short story writer. Here we must understand the word distinguished. Distinguished means unique, special, or you can call as a eminent. He was a eminent British playwright. British means he was born in Britain, and he was a playwright. That means he was a dramatist. He used to write dramas, and he was also a novelist. You know that novel is a long story which contains a plot. There is a difference between short story writer and novelist. Short story does also have a plot, but novels are longer than short stories. So I would like to say that William was playwright, novelist, and short story writer. He was among most popular writers of his era and reputedly the highest paid author during the 1930s. See, he was among the most popular writers. Obviously, he was very much popular of his era. Of his era means of his age, during his time. Era here it means age. And reputedly the highest paid author. That means he used to earn money by selling his books at the highest level. So during 30s, he was very much popular writer. His work is characterized by a clear, unadorned style. See, how was his work? His work was plain. Unadorned means plain. And the setting of his work was in cosmopolitan setting. See, that means his writing was not related to the rural area, or writing was not related to the other countries, but it was related to the cosmopolitan cities. And obviously, he does have a shrewd understanding of human nature. A most delightfully humorous narrative. Delightfully here it means very happily. A most delightfully humorous narrative. Humorous means the thing which can create laughter. The luncheon is a slice of life story. So see, slice of life story, it means that depends on real experience which is depicted in the book. So the real experience, when the real experience is depicted in the book, it is called as a slice of a story. And this is about his own life. So it is autobiographical in nature. And what happens in this story? Actually, I'm sure that you will enjoy this story very much, because there are different things that we have to take into consideration while enjoying this story. So let us see how Maugham luncheon date proposed to him and a woman who hopes is a supporter of his art. Here I want to say that how he proposed to a lady and how that incidents created a humorous situation in his life. So that will be seen in this story. My dear students, before going to the story, I would like to tell certain characteristics of this story. I would like to tell certain features of this story. This story deals with psychology. This story deals with philosophy. This story tells the exact nature of the youth. And this story also tells about the attitude of the elite women towards the middle class women. So this is not just a story between a man and a woman, or this is not about just a date between a man and a woman, but it has many aspects. So let us see how the story goes. My dear students, in this lesson, the writer is using flashback technique. So it is very necessary to understand what is flashback technique. Flashback technique is a technique in which the writer gives the narratives of his past life, and he comes to the certain points and he tries to explain that what has happened during those days or during earlier time, and he connects that story to the present time. This is called as flashback technique. So the first two paragraphs of this story, they are from the past. Now let us see what happened in these two paragraphs. I caught sight of her at the play, and in answer to her call, I went during the interval and sat down beside her. See, definitely, this is the present situation that writer is explaining to us. What he is saying, that he has gone to watching a play, and during the interval, he went towards a woman, and he wanted to talk with that woman. I went over during the interval and sat down beside her. That means definitely she knew that lady very well. It was long since I had last seen her, and if someone had not mentioned her name, I hardly think I would have recognized her. She addressed me brightly. See here, what is happening? Even though he knew that lady very well, but as the shape of the lady had changed tremendously, so he is saying that it was very much difficult for him to recognize that lady because the shape of that lady increased too much too. First thing. And secondly, he was saying that if somebody would not have announced her name, definitely it was difficult for him to recognize that woman. So when he went there, she addressed me brightly. Here, brightly means in an intelligent way or in a quickly manner. Brightly means very nicely. In simple words, you can say like that. Well, it's many years since we first met. So she started speaking about their first visit. How time does fly. See, here the writer is using literally language. What the language he is using, how time does fly. My dear students, can you think that time would fly? I don't think time would fly. But this is the way of writing. This is literary language. I don't think we use such words in day-to-day life. We don't use such sentences in our day-to-day life. Here, when writer is saying how time does fly, it means that time has gone very fast. So they have become now older. We are none of us getting any younger. I don't think there is any meaning to this sentence. I think it might have been written or said only for the sake of saying what he is saying. We are, what actually that lady is saying. That lady is saying that we are none of us getting any younger. That means both of them, they were getting older. So obviously, when time passes, the human gets older. So according to me, there is no any meaning to this sentence. It has been said only for the sake of saying. Do you remember the first time I saw you? You asked me to luncheon. Definitely, that lady tried to connect to the author for their first meet when they were visiting to a restaurant and when they had lunch on at that time. Actually, writer knew very well, and he knew very well that what had happened because of that. I would say this is the past memory. This is, I would say, it is a gloomy part of his life, or in other words, I would say that is beauty of his life. So definitely he is saying sarcastically, in an ironical way, did I remember? So this was the expression which put forth by the writer to that lady. Now, from this slide, we can get the all things from the past, which had happened before 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago, and I was living in Paris. So the story starts from Paris, and you know that Paris is in France. I had a tiny apartment. See what the word the writer is using here. Probably some of you may know the word tiny. Tiny means what? Small. I had a tiny apartment and I was earning barely enough money. See what he is saying. Actually, I already explained you what is the condition of the writer. He is a youth in his 20s, first thing. Secondly, he was writing books. And what happens when he started writing the books, there started coming letters to him. Why I am explaining this like the way? Because when the story happened, At that time, definitely there were no mobile phones. The communication media was only later. And that is why he is saying that lady had written later to him, and her letter was just an encouragement for him. So, what he is saying, she had read a book of mine, obviously, as I'm saying, that what happens, my dear friends, when you are doing something new, or when you are at the young age, and if somebody tries to praise you, you become excited. That is not the case about the experienced person. So when I already used the word that there is a psychology of mind, definitely here the writer is pouring the situation, the nature of the youth. And obviously, you know very well, when you are young, you are very much excited because you don't have the experience of the world. And that is why if somebody praises you, you become very much excited and you become very much happy. The same thing is happening about the writer. She had read a book of mine and had written to me about it. I answered thanking her, and presently I received from her another letter saying she was passing through Paris and would like to have a chat with me. So see, such things may happen in the youth's life. That is why I'm saying that this story is perfectly suitable in the present era. Why it is suitable? Because many times, many youths, many male younger youths, what they do, they try to have a date with certain lady or certain woman or with certain young girl. So the same thing is happening here. When that lady read his book, she wanted to have meet with him. She wanted to have lunch on with him. And that is why that lady had written secondly. And what was her intention? See, she was saying that her time was limited and the only free moment she had was on the following Thursday, and would I give her a little luncheon at Fouet's afterwards. Actually, Fouet's is a very expensive restaurant from Paris. And as she had noted in her letter, that she is going via Paris. And since she did have only short time, so she wanted to have some luncheon with him and have some words with him. And that is why that lady is saying to him that if that writer had certain time to enjoy with her, she can come to that restaurant. And the name of that restaurant is Fouet's Restaurant. Fouet's is a restaurant, and it was a far beyond my means. Actually, here also he is using one phrase. Far beyond my means obviously not affordable. That means it was very much expensive. You know that. Writer was a middle class man. And it seems we have no any idea about that lady also. But it seems from the narration that lady was from elite class and writer was from middle class. So here I want to say that as he started his earning in a very small way, and that is why it was not affordable for him to give such a grand luncheon in a very expensive restaurant. So this is what which is happening here. Now see, Fouet's is a restaurant and it was so far beyond my means that I had never even thought of going there. I had 80 francs. So francs here it is a currency from France. And when he started writing the story, he is giving the explanation about the condition of the writer. And as he was uprising writer, as he was a budding writer, he did have only few money with him, and the money was only 80 francs. To last me the rest of the month, and a modest luncheon should not cost more than 15. So such were the things which were going in his mind. Actually, I already told you that writer has explained the correct nature, human nature of the youth here. Actually, as he was writing something, he needed some praise from some person, some audience, some reader. And that is why when he got the letter, he became very much excited, and when he decided to give luncheon in a very expensive restaurant, at that time he started calculating the money which he did have. So he felt that if he would cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, I could manage well enough. So he was thinking that if he could not take coffee for 2 weeks, then definitely it is manageable for him. And that is why he decided to give luncheon to that lady. I answered that I would meet my friend at Foyt's on Thursday at 12:30. She was in appearance imposing rather than attractive, and she gave me the impression of having more teeth, white and large, and even than were necessary for any practical purpose. See what is happening here. So the first impression as a reader, what I get or what we get that she was the lady of middle age. That means she was reaching to the 40. So definitely there is a first setback to the writer. Why I'm saying there is a first setback to the writer? Because writer felt that the lady might be very young and he might create certain relationship with that lady, and that is why he decided to have a date with that lady. But he get first, or rather to say he got first setback. What was that setback? That setback was that the lady's age was not appropriate to his age. So this is first thing. Secondly, the lady was trying to show more than what she is. That means she was not that much attractive, but she was imposing on writer that she is so much so attractive. That is why writer said that she gave me impression of having more teeth, white and large, and even then were necessary for any practical purpose. So the meaning of this sentence is that she was not that much attractive, but she tried to show that she is very, very attractive. So now let us turn to the next slide. She was talkative, but since she seemed to want to talk about me, I was prepared to be an attentive listener. Actually, this is the thing that happens about the young youth, particularly young male youth. When he meets any girl or when he meets any woman, at that time, that the youth expect that her beloved or her friend should start speaking. And obviously, here I'm saying that that lady was very much talkative, so she started speaking with writer, and writer felt it is much better for him to be attentive listener. Why? Because he felt that when he will listen that lady very carefully, then definitely certain thing will come from that lady, and that will be much helpful for him for the next relation. I was startled when the menu was brought. Here, startled means shocked, and the menu was brought means the menu card was brought. For the prices were a great deal higher than I had thought, but she reassured me. So from here it starts the drama. Here it starts the real humorous situation. And from this point there starts the irony, which is present there in the present short story. What is irony here? First of all, my dear students, you must understand what is irony. Irony means there is a difference between reality and appearance. Here, throughout the short story, you would come to know that the author wants one thing, but that lady wants another thing. So there is a big gap between the expectation of the lady and the behavior of the author. So let us see what happens. And first thing which I am saying here, that he was shocked when he saw the menu card. This is the tendency of the middle class youth. It happens. My dear students, you know that when you go to the restaurant and if it is very much expensive at that time, definitely if the items from the restaurants are very much expensive, the same thing would happen about us also. The thing which is happening about the writer. I never eat anything for luncheon, she said. So there is a irony in this sentence. I never eat anything for luncheon, she said. So she wanted to eat too much, but saying that she does not want to take luncheon, or saying that she doesn't take anything for the luncheon. Actually, up to now I have not explained you the word luncheon. Luncheon means a midday meal. Everybody knows that luncheon means midday meal. Oh, I don't say that, I answered generously. So once again, this is the tendency of the younger generation. When the other person, particularly girl, says that I don't want anything, at that time, that particular person or that particular main person tries to uh, say to that girl that no, it is not good thing that you should have to take something for the lunch. And the same is happening here. He is saying that no, it is not good thing if you don't take anything, so there is not good thing for him, because he will feel insult when she would not take anything. I never eat more than one thing. Now here started. Actually, there is one very nice thing in this lesson, and that I want to explain you. The thing is that the communication of the lady. What is the communication of the lady? How it is getting developed? See, writer is putting his matter in a loving way, but the language of that lady is business language. It is dealing language. So in the beginning, see why I'm saying that it is a business language. In the beginning, she says that she never eats anything for luncheon. Later, when writer tried to pursue her at that time, she said that if she wants to take, she takes only one thing. So now she started demanding more and more thing that it will come in the remaining part of the lesson. So let us see what is happening here. I never eat more than one thing. I think people eat far too much nowadays. So once again, she is saying her elite class thinking to the writer, a little fish, perhaps. I wonder if they have any salmon. See, here started the expensive demands of that lady. What is she saying? She is saying that she needs only little fish. But my dear students, even though she is saying a little fish, but that little fish costs very much. It is much more costly than other things. Why I'm saying like this? Because that salmon is a seasonal fish, and there was a possibility that it would not have been available in that restaurant. But when she was demanding that, means definitely the restaurant would ask more money for that salmon. So let us see what happens. Well, it was early in the year for salmon, and it was not on the menu, but I asked the waiter if there was any. So see, now uh, he started demanding, ordering the things for that lady. Why I'm saying like that? I already said you that salmon is a seasonal fish, and it was hardly available in the restaurant at that time. But it was the bad luck of writer that even though that was no season for salmon having there in the restaurant, but still when waiter came there, he very happily said that one salmon had come to that restaurant. So that is what I'm saying, that it is bad luck for writer. Why I'm saying it is bad luck for writer? Because as we had got information of the writer that he was running short of money, so definitely when that lady is demanding more expensive things in the restaurant, so that is bad luck for the writer. Yes, a beautiful salmon had just come in. It was the first they had had. See what is happening here. When the waiter came, he said that, yeah, this is not the time for salmon, but only one fish that had come to the restaurant. Now see, there is one sentence. It was the first they had had. See what is happening here. You are getting two auxiliary verbs. See, it was the first they had had. What is the meaning of this? Or which is the tense of this sentence? I would say the tense of this sentence is a past perfect tense. You may ask me, sir, how? Because both are the auxiliary verbs. But remember, the second word had is acting as a main verb, and that is why it is past perfect tense. So in such things you must understand. It is very caliber writing. It is very nice writing. I like it, and that is why such sentences are usually used in this writing. I ordered. it for my guest. The waiter asked her if she would have something while it was being cooked. No, she answered, I never eat more than one thing unless you had a little caviar. I never mind caviar. See what is happening. So first what she demanded salmon. Now she is demanding caviar. Why she is demanding caviar? Because uh, because she did have a habit of taking such expensive items from the restaurant. Now, you must understand what is caviar. Caviar is an expensive dish made of eggs of a fish. So that is caviar. So this is the dish made from the eggs of the fish. So that is what I'm saying. I knew I could not afford caviar, but I could not very well tell her that for myself, I choose the cheapest dish on the menu, and that was a mutton chop. See, I have shown you how mutton chop is there on the slide. See, this is very tendency of the writer, very correct tendency of the writer. He felt that if he would ask the caviar, two caviar, definitely that would be very much expensive. So he asked only cheapest dish for himself, and that was the mutton chop. I think you are unwise to eat meat. She said, I don't believe in overloading my stomach. See what is happening here. She is demanding more expensive items, first thing, and they are, even though they are light for the stomach, but they are very expensive. And she is criticizing to the writer. I think this is the tendency of the elite class woman. What is the tendency? She is criticizing that she doesn't like mutton chop. So I don't like the tendency of that woman. She is using the word unwise. I think you are unwise. That means you are foolish. So such words, I don't think they are helpful to the writer, or there will be some creation of relationship between them. So when she started criticizing, I feel rather to say that she is criticizing to the middle class people, and I don't like such thing, because anybody doesn't have a right to criticize to other class people. I don't believe in overloading my stomach. Once again, she is saying that she is very sophisticated woman, and she doesn't like to eat too much too, and definitely she doesn't like fill up or too much to meal, and that is why she is saying she is demanding some light items which are very expensive in that restaurant. She ate the caviar and she ate the salmon. She talked gaily of art and literature and music, but I wondered what the bill would come to. This is the trauma which is happening about the writer. What is the trauma? What is the condition? What is the bad condition of the writer here? So see, as intention of that lady was to have certain conversation about art, literature, and music. The same was the intention of the writer, but writer was not in a mood to have some talk on art, literature, and music. Why I'm saying like this? Because one thing is going on in his mind, and the thing was about the bill. He was always thinking about the bill, but that lady was demanding more and more and more. This is the hilarious situation which was created by that lady about the author. But I wonder what the bill would come to. When my mutton chop arrived, she took me quite seriously to task. She took quite seriously me. It means that she didn't like that thing at all. I see that you are in the habit of eating a heavy luncheon. I'm sure it's a mistake. Why don't you follow my example and just eat one thing? I couldn't possibly eat anything more unless they had someone, those giant asparagus. I should be sorry to leave Paris without having some of them. So her language is polite. It would not hurt to the writer, but her purpose would be fulfilled. Students, I'm sure that you might have enjoyed this lesson. Definitely, this is a very humorous lesson, and you are enjoying it. You have seen the condition of the writer. You also seen the mentality of the woman. So let us see remaining part in the next period. Thank you.